You are about to participate in a great adventure.
I swear, this team is on a whole nother level.
Hit in the air to deep right center.
They are not a championship contender.
That is far.
Hold on, shut up. He is the best player on the field.
It is high.
He is the MVP right now.
It is gone.
You're listening to the Tom and Jerry Sports Show. What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of the Tom and Jerry Sports Show. This is our 16th show. We were only doing one show this week, so we figured we'd do.
We could save the football for Football Friday.
Well, if you guys didn't know, it's 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. So right now, this Sunday is the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. Nothing special, really.
Yeah. I think this is probably the worst All-Star game out of all the sports.
There's not much you can do, though, really, either.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they can't really, tackle hard. Yeah. It's not like the quarterback can't be sacked.
If anything, they should make it like basketball with, the skills competition or something.
Yeah, well,
that.
they were talking about that, maybe making, a 7-on-7 game. Like flag football or something like that.
That would be better than what
they used to have skill competition with. I don't know what.
And they should bring it back because just to have a game that you can't really tackle people is kind of a joke.
Honestly, the DirecTV celebrity flag football beach football game is probably more interesting than watching the Pro Bowl game on Sunday. But yeah, like I said, I think it's the worst. I mean, hockey, interesting. Basketball.
Basketball is a great game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much defense really in basketball, but
baseball means something. Yeah, which makes it even better.
Exactly.
So I mean, but what are you gonna do? But I figured we'd go over. Obviously, we didn't go over the championship games. We'll go over those two games. We'll go over some. So far the NHL. Of the four games so far of everybody playing. Go over the NBA games last night, and I mean that's about it. Yeah. But we'll go. I'm just gonna go over the scores of last night in the NBA. The Raptors beat the Magic 97-95. Knicks beat the Celtics 89-86, and the Suns beat the Clippers 93-88. And then in the NHL, the Islanders beat the Maple Leafs 7-4. Whoop,
yeah, whoop. Buddy.
Flyers beat the Rangers 2-1.
Yeah, buddy.
Canadians beat the Capitals 4-1. Hurricanes beat the Sabres 6-3. Senators beat the Panthers 3-1. Blues beat the Predators 3-0. Blackhawks beat the Stars in overtime 3-2. Avalanche beat the Blue Jackets 4-0. Oilers beat the Kings in overtime 2-1, and the Sharks beat the Coyotes 5-3. So,
hockey.
Yeah, the hockey's getting, I love watching hockey. Thank God it's back. But we'll go into the NFL. Quick, news in the NFL. Rob Ryan was hired to be the St. Louis Rams defensive coordinator, and Steve Spagnuolo was fired from the Saints. And it looks like they're moving to a 3-4.
Well, I believe they were historically bad last year, that Saints defense, so you can kind of see that happening. And
well, Steve Spagnuolo is known for having a bad beginning of the season. Yeah. But in the entire season,
the entire season was bad.
So we'll see what happens when they move to the 3-4.
Yeah. Jeff Fisher, I believe he hired Rob Ryan because he worked under his father, Buddy Ryan, so there's the family connection there, so that's a good hire for
it's definitely he's definitely a great defensive coordinator.
And they got some nice pieces there too, though, with Laurinaitis, Chris Long,
Cortland Finnegan, so we'll see what happens.
Jenkins.
And with them, it's those are physical cornerbacks, and in Rob Ryan's defense, you need physical cornerbacks. But the first game, San Francisco at Atlanta. Very, very good game.
Yes.
The beginning of the game didn't look like it was going to be a good game.
It didn't.
17-0.
Pretty much right out the bag.
Yeah.
Like right into the second quarter. It was 17-0.
For San Francisco, Kaepernick was 16 for 21, 233 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Gore rushed for 21 carries, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns, and big guy coming out of nowhere for the last 8 weeks. But Vernon Davis, 5 catches, 106 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, big game.
Atlanta has been showing that they, in the playoffs, that they couldn't hold a tight end. I mean, they gave up 142 yards to Zach Miller.
Yeah.
And then they gave up 100.
They're also showing that they can't hold on to a lead either.
Well, yeah. I mean, Atlanta, before the playoffs, only gave up one 100-yard tight end, and that was Jimmy Graham in, I think, week 4. Wow. So it's kind of crazy what happened. I don't know what happened during the playoffs. But on the Atlanta side, Matt Ryan was 30 for 42, 396 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 fumble. The fumble was costly. It's at the end of the game. He just took his eyes off the ball when it was snapped. It wasn't anybody's fault but Matt Ryan's. But Julio Jones, 11 catches, 182 yards, 2 touchdowns. Roddy White, 7 catches, 100 yards. And Tony Gonzalez, probably his last game ever.
It looks like his last game.
8 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. So...
And, I mean, when you have a lead of 17-0, I don't care how early it is, you got to find a way to hold on. Yeah, especially at home, you have to hold that lead.
The Falcons gained 477 yards but lost the NFC title game at home to the 49ers, setting an NFL postseason record for most yards gained by a team in a postseason loss at home. That's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you have a 477 yards on offense and still lose the game? And
they basically, I mean, they didn't get shut out, but I mean, what did they score in the second half? 7 points?
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, I know the 49ers made adjustments too, but I mean, you have to make adjustments yourself and be ready for what they're bringing at you, and they just weren't. They were able to get yards, they just couldn't score. Towards the end of the game, the San Francisco pass rush got in there. They started sending more guys. Yeah. So it threw Matt Ryan off, and the stats show it. But Colin Kaepernick, they said, was kept in the pocket 21 of his 23 dropbacks. And he had his highest rate of the season. He averaged 11.5 yards per pass attempt when he was in the pocket. For someone that's known for his his legs, to have a season high while in the in the pocket. People that have watched him, I mean, it's not just his legs. You would know that it's not just his legs by now. He has an absolute cannon. Yes, and it's accurate. Yeah, I mean, some throws are a little wobbly at times, but for the most part, he has. I mean, he's got a laser. This is a nice little fun fact. Matt Ryan's 396 yards set a Falcons postseason record. Atlanta has lost 3 of 4 postseason games in which it had a quarterback pass for at least 300 yards. Wow. That just shows Atlanta, Yep. Not being able to win the big game. Exactly. But, I mean, that's about it for that game. San Francisco won it 28-24. They move on to the Super Bowl. February 3rd. Right? Yeah, February 3rd. So, I mean, Kaepernick is just, keeping them in the game and ended up winning the game for them. So, their defense stepped up, though, I have to give that. Yeah, definitely. Their defense in the second half was shredded in the first half. Even giving up that late touchdown at the end of the half. Yeah, that was. You would thought that would be like a killer. Exactly. But I don't even think they scored. Well, I don't think they scored a touchdown in the second half. Now when we think about it, they didn't. Yeah, there was 24-14 going into the half. So they got shut out. They got shut out again. Yep. So I mean, they got shut out in the game against Seattle too. Oh no, they came back in the fourth quarter. Yeah. That last drive. But on to the Baltimore Pats. That's where you were wrong. In New England. I was wrong.
But so far, one Harbaugh is in the Super Bowl. Let's go over the next Harbaugh. Joe Flacco was 21 for 36, 240 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He had a good game. He had a good game. And the thing, the reason why I say he has a good game, he put up the numbers, he had good numbers, but he spread it around.
Yeah.
Not one guy had over 100 yards, receiving.
And the best part was he's been known, especially in the playoffs, with the deep throws. But he attempted a few of them early, but with the wind, he wasn't really able to do that.
Yeah.
And he adjusted, and he started doing the same kind of throws that the Patriots were throwing at him, with the short passes over the middle. So he started doing the same thing.
There wasn't much of a run game for Baltimore, which I thought would be the key to this game. But I was wrong again.
Flacco doesn't need a running game.
Flacco took it by himself. He hit Torrey Smith 4 times. Anquan Bolden is an absolute monster.
Yes, he is.
The 2 touchdowns that he had were unbelievable. But I've always liked Anquan Bolden. I thought he was. I just like how he plays the game.
Yes,
he's very physical.
There's not much not to like about how he plays football.
But especially after that hit that he took against the Jets that one year.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So, I mean, he said he got popped.
Yeah, that was bad.
But Dennis Pitta had 5 catches. Ray Rice had 3. Vontae Leash had 2.
Pitta had one of those catches too after he got clocked.
Yeah, he got clocked and then scored a touchdown on the next play. But I mean, on New England's side, I mean,
they got
Brady
outplayed.
They did. Brady was 29 for 54, 320 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. The 2 interceptions, the last interception was, kind of a, I mean, you have to put it in the end zone.
Yeah. That's what happens when you lose.
Yeah. Ridley was 18 carries, 70 yards. Welker had another one of Welker's games, 8 catches, 117 yards. And I'm going to come out and say I do blame this game again on Wes Welker. That catch that he dropped on the 3rd down blew this game for them. Blew it. And I'm going to tell you right now, it blew the game for them.
Welker's fault?
Yes.
This whole
Welker's
game.
fault. Yes, Welker's fault. He went into the Super Bowl last year, Welker's fault. He dropped a ball that should have been caught. He goes into this game, he drops a ball that should have been caught that would have carried on the drive, and New England probably would have scored the way that they were playing that drive. But he dropped a ball that hit him in the chest. Something that a guy that has 8 catches, 117 yards shouldn't be doing. You're the best receiver on this team.
It's probably because he is knowing he's going to get hit, because that's what the Ravens were doing all game.
And
they
he
were
was
sending a
getting
message
hit.
all game that they were going to, if they were going over the middle, they were going to get hit. And then that message was in the receivers' heads all game, and they were thinking about it. And that's how the Ravens play. They get into your head.
They were hitting all over in this game.
He knew he was going to get hit. He was probably worried about it, and he dropped it.
Yeah, well, you're in the NFL, buddy, so man up. But, I mean, Ravens outplayed them in the second half and came out with the W, 28-13.
Just
And
like I knew they would.
Yeah. Including the playoffs, the Patriots have won 10 straight games when winning the turnover battle. The last time the Patriots won the turnover battle and lost the game was their Week 3 loss to the Ravens.
Oh, what do you know?
Yes. This is the one team that Brady just has absolutely every problem with.
Yep.
He's probably going to go down as the best quarterback ever to play the game.
Best quarterback that gets outplayed by Flacco every time.
He gets played.
Yeah, you can't even handle it because you know it's
he gets
true.
outplayed by the defense.
Yeah,
we'll say that. All right, Ray Lewis. I'll give Ray Lewis the props on that because he just confuses Brady. But
if he's so great, he should be able to handle it. But apparently he can't.
all right. I'll take that. But
It's funny how they don't win after the whole Spygate thing.
Yeah.
It's real coincidental.
but it's going to be the Harbowl the Super Bowl. What's another name for it? The Harbaugh Bowl. So
There's a whole bunch of them, man.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. You know what? I'm pretty excited for this.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I won't really want to see the 49ers take their 6th Super Bowl win.
6-0. It would be.
Being that the Cowboys and the 49ers are tied for the most with 5.
Second most.
But you know what? I'd like to see Ray Lewis win one right before he retires, even though I knew he did that for a reason.
Yeah, and the reason was to get to where they are right now.
Yeah.
And there's no stopping them, man.
Yeah.
They're the hot team this year. That's all it takes.
I'd like to see Ed Reed get another one.
Well, this would be Reed wasn't there on the.
Oh yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah, this would be.
Yeah, that's true.
So he was saying, I mean, in his last press conference, I mean, he made it seem like he was going to retire, but then it came out the next day that he wasn't going to retire.
Yeah.
But he was saying in the press conference, he was like, "This is all I need, just this, this game."
It'd be nice. It'd be nice to see them win a Super Bowl and then him and Ray Lewis retire and then get inducted into the Hall of Fame at the same time.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
You would think Ed Reed would be thinking that. I mean, with all the injuries and why not get out while you're ahead?
Yeah.
Especially if you win a ring.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you said before we got in the air, that might change if he gets the ring.
Exactly. He came out and said he doesn't. He sees him coming. He sees himself coming back for next year. But I can see them. If they do win the Super Bowl, I could see them.
Retiring at the same time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Definitely.
Because without Ray Lewis, I don't think Ed Reed can really win another Super Bowl. Being that he really isn't himself
He's
anymore.
not anymore.
Do I think they have guys that can take over Ray Lewis' spot and be just as effective? Yes. Do I think they have a leader? No.
I think they do. I think they have a group of leaders with Suggs.
Well, yeah, but I just don't. You don't have.
Stepping up.
You're not going to have another leader as
no
as
one's
Ray
a Ray
Lewis.
Lewis.
Yeah,
but they have a lot of good linebackers, young linebackers.
Yeah,
they got.
I like the guy I do like. In their their linebacking core, I like Courtney Upshaw. I think.
Yeah, I like Upshaw too.
I think he's going to be a big guy.
Definitely need to re-sign Kruger. He's a very good pass rusher.
He's been playing out of his mind.
Yeah, very good
during
pass
the playoffs. Ellerby is good.
Ellerby's a great linebacker.
Yeah.
Secondary stepped up. Unbelievably.
Definitely with the injuries that they had. Terrell Suggs is going to be back. He's still one of a kind.
He's still. I mean, it doesn't seem like he's the old Suggs yet, but he's coming off, an Achilles tour. So it takes time to get back to 100% after that.
And then he has the arm injury.
Yeah. So
for a guy that has a torn tricep or bicep, to be able to go out. First of all, going into Denver when you're playing in negative degrees, with a torn bicep, trying to make a tackle is kind of amazing. Then you go into New England where it's cold to do the same thing.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's amazing to see what these guys can do with the injuries that they have.
So I mean,
and then you look at other guys or other sports, that
sitting out with
a broken fingernail.
Yeah.
So,
But besides hockey players, players.
That's why I
also,
like hockey and football. You see these guys come out. I seen a picture last night of a guy, from hockey that had a split head, a lip, missing teeth. But we got a phone call now from Mike Colucci. What's going on, Mike?
Tom, Jay, what's going on, boys? How are you guys?
How's it going?
I'm tagging out. Listen, I got a question for you boys. How do you guys feel about this Revis trade? I'm a huge Jet fan. I've been going in and out of depression because these Jets. Very upset. But now they hit me with this Revis trade. What do you guys think about it? The defense, they were all right this year. But with Kyle Wilson as a second second quarterback, he can't do it. He's not that good.
Yeah. My thing, like, I have an opinion for both sides. Like,
Yeah,
obviously, you know, this is the best player on your team, arguably the best defensive player in the league. You don't want to see them trade him, but then on the other hand, you know, looking at the Jets' point of view, you get rid of him, you know, you can get a lot in return, and they need more than just one cornerback on that team. So,
that's the way I'm looking at it. I look at it the way if they get rid of him now, they'll probably get the most that you can get, like you said.
Exactly.
They need a speed pass rusher more than they need a quarterback, and they showed that last year.
Yeah.
Their secondary is fine without him.
Yeah.
And if they can get draft picks, which they need more, probably more than anything else too. Like you said too, there's so many more positions they need to fill than just the cornerback. Especially, I mean, look at the offense. They have no receivers.
It's just, you know, we all know that he's a free agent next year. After this year, he's a free agent. Do you guys think he's going to, you know, go to the team? If we don't, say the Jets don't trade him. And then he's a free agent. You think he's going to sign back with the Jets, or he's going to part ways?
Well, honestly, right now, I mean, the way, like, all the turmoil with the Jets, and then obviously them coming out saying that they're going to trade him, and he's not happy about it. He already came out and said he wasn't happy about it. If they don't trade him, I don't see him signing a contract with the Jets unless they give him an insane amount of money.
But I don't even know if they can do that because I believe they're on the cap already.
So I think it's best for them if they do trade him. Because if he leaves with free agency, you're not getting anything in return.
I mean, and if I'm going to say one thing about Revis. It's funny how he came out and says he's upset about the whole trade thing.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, you know, he's allowed to skip training camps while he's sitting out on trying to get a contract extension.
Yeah.
So he's just full of himself, and
he really is.
It's better to get rid of him now while you can.
And he's injury prone. Like the last 2 years, he's been injured. So, you know,
you better get what you can while he's pretty much just going to leave your team anyway next year.
Exactly.
Yeah, this sucks, boys. but thanks for taking my call, and let's go Ravens.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
All right.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
You too.
Bye.
Yeah, it's an ugly situation with the Jets right now. I mean, they got a whole bunch of but it's, you know, while we're on Revis, let's just continue about it because, like we said, there's so many positions more that they need to worry about than a cornerback that their defense is still a top 10 defense without Revis. They proved they don't need him last year. The guy stepped up. They proved they don't need him.
Exactly. Cromartie really stepped up, and I was actually really surprised because I didn't think he was that good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was a playmaker, but I didn't think he was that good.
Yeah, of like just being an actual corner. Yeah. So
I mean, it was pretty cool to see, you know, Cromartie really mature.
Yeah, definitely.
Still, you know, with his, you know, whole baby problems.
Yeah.
I mean, to come
That's
out and play
story.
like that. But we got another phone call from Matt Stockert. What's going on, Matt?
What's going on, guys? Okay, I got a question about you. Well, for you, not about you. I want to know what you guys think. How good do you think Andy Reid's going to fit with the Chiefs?
Honestly, I think that's a good pickup because I do think Andy Reid is a very good coach. I mean, look what he did with, you know, the Eagles. So, I mean, I'd like to see what happens with them because I do think the Chiefs do have a very good team. I do think they need a quarterback. But I think Andy Reid's going to be a good fit for...
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it at first. I just thought Andy Reid was better off taking a year off with a lot, like everything going on in his personal life outside of football and just how everything went in Philly. But I think the change of scenery is going to be really good for him. And like you said, Kansas City has a lot of good players already, and all they really need is a quarterback. But Andy Reid has always been a quarterback coach, so I don't think that's going to be a problem getting a quarterback.
Definitely.
What do you think they're going to do about the quarterback? Are they going to go for Alex Smith, or do you think they're going to try to draft someone? Like, what do you think is going to go on?
Well, there really isn't any, like, great quarterbacks coming out of the draft. And, I mean, the guys that are in the draft, I think, are maybe second or third round quarterbacks that need help. and need a few more years like as a backup. So I don't see them drafting maybe drafting a quarterback, but I do see them going after Alex Smith.
Yeah, and it seems.
Yeah, he'd be a good fit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems there's more quarterbacks with like free agency or like trading for backup quarterbacks than there is in the draft. And I can definitely see them going after Alex Smith or maybe even Matt Flynn if Alex Smith doesn't work out.
That's another guy. They said all the teams are expecting the Seattle Seahawks to release Matt Flynn.
So if Alex Smith doesn't work out, I definitely see him picking up one of them, one of the two, because I think Andy Reid knows that all his team really needs is a quarterback.
Yeah. So
and Alex Smith would be perfect for that type of offense because Andy Reid doesn't, bomb it like crazy. He does like the short stuff. So we'll see.
They do need to keep Dwayne Bowe though.
Yes,
that's one big thing. So
you can't lose a big time receiver like that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we see Alex Smith staying Redwood with the Chiefs next year.
Yeah.
No, I do too, man.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, no problem. Have a good one. Okay. Like I said, we'll get into a little NHL here. Really, all the teams have maybe gone over a max of 4 games.
Yeah, it's early.
But like I said, yeah, it is early.
It's still nice to see, though. I mean, it's just nice to see hockey again.
Yeah. We'll go over a little standings real quick. Ottawa's 3-0. New Jersey's 2-0. Tampa Bay 2-1. Boston's 2-0-1. The Islanders over 500. Over 500. I hope to see them over 500 the whole season.
Yes.
But like I said, it's early.
Soak it in, though. Soak it in
early.
for the moment.
Yeah. They are 2-1. Pittsburgh 2-1. Buffalo 2-1. Montreal 2-1. Toronto's 2-2.
Where are the Rangers?
I'm not there yet. It's kind of crazy. Winnipeg 1-1-1.
Oh.
Carolina 1-2. Still no. Oh,
wow.
There they are.
Oh.
The Rangers 1-3.
Oh.
Wow. They make a big splash in free agency with Rick Nash, and they're 1-3.
Coming out the gate strong.
Yeah.
In a season where you cannot afford to do this.
Exactly. That's the one thing that this could be the way that the whole season it is. This is perfect for the Islanders. Perfect.
Yeah.
Stay hot. You got 48 games.
Because it always seems like at the end of the seasons when they really
fall apart.
Yeah, fall apart.
They always play good into the All-Star break.
Maybe this is what they needed.
This could be it.
Yes,
this could be it.
This could be it.
This could be it.
They got a bunch of young legs, man. This is scoring 7 goals last night.
Yeah, 7 goals. 7 goals.
7 goals
for the New York Islanders. Wow.
This is the real deal.
Florida's 1-3. Philly's 1-3. Washington's 0-3. Now to the West, Chicago's 4-0. San Jose's 3-0. Colorado's 2-1. St. Louis is 3-1. Dallas 2-1-1. Anaheim 2-0. Minnesota 2-1, Edmonton 2-1, Nashville's 1-1-2, Vancouver's 1-1-1, Columbus 1-2-1, Detroit 1-2, Phoenix 1-3, Calgary 0-2-1, and Los Angeles the same. Stanley Cup winners.
Wow.
0-2-1. It's crazy, but like we said,
Blackhawks are the real deal though too.
Yeah,
definitely.
To have a team with Patrick Kane, I mean...
They have someone, they just have a young team that's been playing together for
Taves,
a while. Just a solid
yeah,
team.
It really is a solid team, and they're young. They're a young team.
They've won together already.
Yeah, exactly.
So they know how to win, and they're all extremely
It's all
young.
up to Crawford. If Crawford could play good.
It's a scary team, though.
Yeah. But,
it's all about the Islanders, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish there could be, like, something in, like, that thing with the Brooklyn. Like, if they win a Stanley Cup before 2015, they stay here.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
I would, I always wanted to see them build a new
so maybe
Coliseum.
that would be cool to see them in the Barclays.
Yeah, Barclays is nice, I heard. I haven't been there yet.
I definitely might be there.
Definitely with the Islanders.
Yeah,
definitely with the Islanders.
I think that would be nice, though, because
but we still
Nassau is, but there's something about the Coliseum, though,
yeah. It's right on the island.
Yeah.
It's
quick. You can see from anywhere.
Exactly.
And a $20 ticket.
Actually, there's more seats in the Coliseum, I heard, than there is at the Barclays.
Well, What do you know?
Say.
All it takes is an update, you know.
Or
like,
it's something like that. I don't know what the. But
just takes a quick update in the Coliseum.
Exactly.
But nope.
But you know, really, that's about it in sports. But I want to go over UFC. UFC's on Fox on Saturday.
When it's free.
Very, very good fight card. On Saturday, well, tonight, 5 o'clock on Fuel TV, and I think FX has it too. But they're going to be having the weigh-ins, which is always fun to watch because
a lot of smack talk.
Yeah,
always.
you know, I love watching the weigh-ins because it's pretty funny to watch, especially when guys don't like each other, like Anthony Pettis and Donald Cerrone. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. But then on Saturday, FX at 5 o'clock, you'll have the prelims, 3 hours of prelims, 7 fights. Always fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's going to go over to Fox at 8 o'clock. And then you'll have the fight card of Eric Cook versus Ricardo Lamas. Two guys. Cook is 5'9", Lamas is 5'8". Cook is 13-1, and Lamas is 12-2. They both are very powerful fighters. They both, are into striking, so it should be a good fight.
Those are the more interesting ones at least for me.
Well, if you're into that, this is the fight card to watch. I mean,
it's good to see the technique with the grappling and stuff like that.
But you always want to see a knockout.
Yeah, you always want to see. It's always about the knockout.
Now the next fight is Anthony Pettis versus Donald Cerrone. Anthony Pettis is the guy who is known for the Showtime kick, where he leaped off of the gate and knocked the guy out when he was with the WCC. So this is, Anthony Pettis is a very good fighter. So is Donald Cerrone. These two are more of a submission kind of guy. They're very good at standing up, very good with striking, but they also do have strong, ground game. So that's going to be a good fight. Then the next fight is Rampage Jackson versus Glover Teixeira. This looks like it's going to be the last fight in the UFC for Rampage Jackson, one of the great, UFC fighters. Now this is going to be more of a striking on the side of Rampage. He's more of a wrestler, strength, and slamming. He's got very good slamming ability.
Oh, yes.
That's all. That's really what he's known for. And his striking's up more than his takedowns. So you won't see any submissions or takedowns by Rampage. But he can fight on the ground. He is a wrestling fighter. But Glover Teixeira is pretty much equal on everything. His striking, his submission, and his takedown. He's a striking fighter along with jiu-jitsu fighter. So should be a good fight.
Yeah.
But
it's always fun watching Rampage.
If you are down with the knockouts, the main event is the fight to watch. Now, I'm 5'5.5", give or take 5'6".
Yeah.
I'd like to say I'm 5'6".
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah. But this fight is it's for the flyweight belt. You got Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson versus John the Magician Dotson. Both fighters are 5'3".
Wow.
5'3", 125 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I'm taller and I weigh more. That's amazing.
Wow.
It's amazing. Demetrius Johnson is 16-1. John Dotson is 15-5. John Dotson is 100% striking. 100%. That was what it said. 100% striking. Both of these fighters are fast. They're both speed fighters. They got fast hands and feet. They're both explosive. So more of a like a takedown guy for Demetrius Johnson. But I'm guaranteeing you're gonna see either a knockout or a TKO. So it's gonna be a good fight, and it's for free.
Yeah,
you always
you can't go wrong.
You always love free things. But if you are into UFC, the Ultimate Fighter's on at on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock on FX. And if you're a New York guy, which pretty much everybody is that is a fan of ours, there's a guy from Queens on there.
Yeah.
So,
and it seems
very good too.
I mean, that's definitely a big part of why UFC is blowing up so much, is because they do a lot of free events that,
Yeah.
you know, that's why it's taken over boxing, because boxing has like $60 pay-per-view.
And there's a lot of good fighters.
Yeah, exactly.
Boxing has maybe 5 good fighters.
Yeah.
Like, you have good fighters, like good boxers, and then you have the great boxers.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, and the whole thing that happened with Pacquiao getting knocked out, I think that just killed the sport.
Yeah.
Because now you're not going to see the most, anticipated fight that everybody wanted to see with,
I don't think Pacquiao would take
Mayweather
it
and
now.
Pacquiao. So, what are you going to do?
It's a shame.
But UFC's taking over.
Yeah, it is.
And it's I'm really getting into UFC. I really, I love watching the sport. Because just the way, like I said, like these guys are 5'3".
Yeah.
These guys are 5'3", and they can knock out a 7-foot guy. So it's kind of amazing to see.
Yeah,
it really
what these
is.
guys can do.
And the scary thing is that you would never really notice that he's a UFC fighter if you went, you were walking down the street.
Exactly.
Except if you look at their ears with the cauliflower ears.
But they're not allowed to. They're not allowed to fight. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess like if it was, a self-defense situation, but they're not.
They'll kill you.
Yeah, they're
They'll
not
kill you.
allowed to use their fist.
Yeah.
It's like literally illegal for
Yeah.
them to fight. So.
But it's pretty amazing, and it's kind of scary too,
Yeah,
because you don't,
like you said, 5'3". I mean, you would never expect.
Exactly. You pop off to one of them, and
Yep.
they'll take you down in a second. But I mean, really, that's about it. Pro Bowl Sunday. Actually, I'll go over the games for tonight in the NBA and the NHL. NHL, we got the Islanders at Boston. Hurricanes at Sabres, Capitals at Devils, Senators at the Lightning, Wild at Red Wings, Penguins at the Jets, and Vancouver Canucks at the Anaheim Ducks.
Let's go Isles.
Yes. And then in the NBA, we got the Wizards at the T-Wolves, the Celtics at the Hawks, the Pistons at the Heat. We got the Bucks at the Cavaliers, Warriors at the Bulls, the Nets at the Grizzlies, Rockets at the Hornets, who are later to be the Pelicans. Which actually, I was going over their logo, and me and Matt Stockard thought it was very, pretty sick logo.
Yeah, it's better than it could have been.
It
doesn't fix.
It's better than we thought it would be.
It
But
doesn't
I mean,
change
I
the
just
fact that
don't.
it's still Pelicans.
Yeah, the Pelicans just really doesn't do anything.
But I saw a thing that the other two names that they were thinking were Angels or Spirit.
Pelicans are the way to go.
Yeah.
Pelicans are the way to
That's
go.
what I thought.
But then also we got the Spurs at the Mavericks, the Thunder at the Kings, and Utah Jazz at the Los Angeles Lakers. So don't want to get into the Lakers because that is just an absolute joke.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're saying something about maybe trade talks with Pau Gasol and Dwight Howard. So who knows what's going to happen? There has to be a change. I do think it's got to be D'Antoni.
Yeah.
We also need bench players because they have no bench. But
I think Mike Brown's just sitting somewhere laughing.
Yeah,
right now.
exactly. I would too. And if I was Phil Jackson, I'd be laughing too. So
Mike Brown's got a pretty good winning percentage, I believe, as a head coach.
Yeah.
With the Cleveland years, so
yeah,
he's probably enjoying the fact that
they
Lakers
just
are
really
sitting.
they just really didn't give him the time and
They
day.
didn't.
I mean, it was like 5 games.
Yeah, it was
But,
unfair.
That is about it for
Yeah.
today in sports. Really, we'll be back probably. You want to do 2 shows next week?
Yeah, why not?
Monday and Friday.
something like that.
Friday we'll go over the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Football Friday. Monday, I mean, if you want to get into other sports, we'll get into the NHL and the NBA.
Yeah.
Really, that's the only sports that are going on.
Hopefully, Islanders keep winning.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that.
Hopefully. But other than that, that is about it
Yeah.
for the Tom and Jerry Sports Show. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Tom.
Be breezy. Thanks for listening to another episode of The Tom and Jerry Show.